When Commander Yara Solis descended into a cavity 4 kilometers beneath the lunar surface, she wasn't prepared for what her helmet speakers picked up, quote, something breathing. In 1969, when Apollo 11 touched down on the lunar surface, mission scientists did something that barely made the headlines. They deliberately crashed the lunar module's ascent stage back onto the moon after the crew returned to the command ship. And what the seismometers recorded sent chills through the entire scientific community. The moon rang like a bell. For nearly an hour. A solid rock body doesn't do that, but a hollow one might. That detail got buried, classified, some say, forgotten, others claim. But a handful of researchers never stopped asking why. Now fast forward to 2031. A joint international mission called Artemis Deep is tasked with drilling further into the lunar surface than any mission before it. The goal is simple: core samples, geological data, routine science, except nothing about what they find is routine. At approximately 4.2 kilometers below the surface, the drill breaks through into something that shouldn't exist. A cavity. Massive. The initial sonar mapping suggests it spans hundreds of kilometers in every direction. The team assumes it's a geological anomaly, a lava tube on a scale never before imagined, until the sensors detect something else entirely. Movement. Not seismic, not mechanical, rhythmic, biological. Commander Yara Solis is the first to hear it through her helmet speakers when she descends into the access shaft. She describes it later as breathing, slow, deep, and unmistakably intentional, the kind of rhythm that belongs to something alive and aware. What happens next is where the story fractures into questions we may never fully answer. The cameras inside the cavity capture what appear to be structural formations that are too regular, too geometric to be natural. Hexagonal chambers, perfectly spaced, and bioluminescent filaments running between them like a nervous system stretched across kilometers of dark rock. Scientists back on Earth argue about what it means. Some say it's an undiscovered extremophile organism of extraordinary scale. Others quietly suggest something far more unsettling: that this thing didn't grow here accidentally, that it was placed here, that the moon itself might be a kind of vessel, ancient beyond any human measurement, carrying something across the universe for reasons we cannot comprehend. The mission is quietly grounded after day 9. Official communications go dark. The crew returns safely, but speaks very little publicly. When Solis eventually gives one interview, she says only this: there are things in this universe that are older than the concept of life as we understand it, and they have been watching us far longer than we have been looking up. Here's the psychological weight of that idea. We have spent centuries looking at the moon as a comfort, a constant, something predictable and familiar hanging in our sky every single night. The hollow moon theory strips that comfort away entirely. It transforms our closest neighbor into something unknown, possibly inhabited, possibly watching. And maybe the most terrifying part of all is that the ringing, that long low resonance recorded back in 1969, never fully stopped. Scientists, just stopped publishing the data. The moon is still ringing right now, and something inside might be listening for our reply.